think we're probably live now. Let me go in and check my volume real quick. Bear with me. This is only going to take about 20 seconds. Turn that down just a little bit more. It's a little late, so I don't want to be yelling into the microphone. So, hey everyone. This is, as the title implies, a SnapMap tutorial. It is a request from Hen Doe. The request, mostly verbatim, is as follows, and what you're looking at here is the example. It's actually one screw up, and then the request as I understand it, and then an expansion upon that. Anyways, the original comment is good stuff. Been looking around for some help on SnapMap, but it seems kind of hard to find good tutorials and videos on it. Thank you. I assume that was a compliment. And also wondering if you can help me solve something I'm working on. So what I have is 2 rows of 3 buttons. I use volumes. And what I want to create is a puzzle where it shows a random 3-digit code on one row, and then you have to shoot the same sequence on the row below. I've put it together as far as that it changes the color of the buttons in a random order and shows the sequence, but I'm so bad with logic, so I can't really figure out how to make it so the bottom row knows the sequence since it becomes random. I had a hard time with this. I don't know if you really are bad with logic, or if you're as good or better than I am and just happen to come across something that is it was confusing. So anyways, that comment I responded with, I'll have to tinker around to figure that one out, which I screwed up a few times. Are you trying to achieve Simon Says effect or code, whatever? They said, yeah, Simon Says effect sounds right. It should show me 3 random inputs by changing the color of the buttons. It has to memorize those somehow so that the bottom section has to be shot in the same order as shown. I've tried a few things, but I'm mostly guessing my way ahead with this. To which I responded that I got it done and I'll stream a video, which is what I'm doing now. So, that was kind of a lengthy read, but here's what we've got. I will do a demonstration before I delve into this. But here, I just wanted to show, I labeled this myself. This is bad. This will be removed before I publish this, maybe, probably. But my first approach with this, I actually kept everything from here to the right with some slight variation. Slight variation. And so I was using 3 booleans and 9 integer compares and all sorts of stuff, and it just got real yucky and didn't really work very well, mostly because I forgot to complete this. So this may actually still work. It's messy. Doesn't leave a whole lot of room for any more effects or anything. So I changed it and ended up with this, which is a little bit prettier. It's a lot prettier, and really the actual logic part of it is everything contained pretty much right in front of this volume. Everything here. Everything else is just interface stuff, some sounds, colors, that sort of thing. But then here is also necessary for it. This is all user input, and this is all random sequence generation. Yeah. So before I go into that in depth, let me show you what we got here. It does work. I tested it, so shouldn't have any embarrassing moments this time around. Good time to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever, that sort of thing. Alright, so here we go. I didn't do anything special with this. This will just start it, and of course substitute your activator, for whatever. But here we go. Starting. 3, 3, 2. You could condense this down so it's just one line, but the request was for 2 lines, and I kind of got wrapped up in that, but this could easily be modified to just be 3, and you just shoot the ones that produces a sequence. But it was it 3, 3, 2? There we go, a little BFG explosion sound in the background, and we can do it again. That time it's 3, 2, 3. We're going to go ahead and screw up and just start with 2. That was wrong. Alright, we can't continue, can't try again. We have to do a new sequence. Alright, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. So we could do this all day. 3, 2, 3. We're only using 3 numbers, 3 sequences, so of course there will be some repeats. 2, 2, 2. Pretty simple. You could use some math and some logic to kind of reduce the amount of repetition. But we get 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah, whatever. All right, you get the point. Oh, we'll go over here. I'll show you this, just in case you're interested, with just a little bit of addition of objects. Took me about 10 minutes hooking up links and creating new variables and stuff. Turned that sequence of 3 random thingamabobbers into 12. And I will not attempt to do this unless it all happens to be one thing or very easily memorized, because it is extraordinarily difficult. Yeah, I'm not even trying. It started here, but then, yeah, screwed up. So, yeah, it can be, you can make it 128 if you want to, but, yeah, you could make a full-fledged Simon Says game and increment every time using this setup. Need some pretty serious modifications, but and nothing too complicated, but definitely a lot more logic to get it to do that. But you would end up with just a lot of stuff over here, and then some other stuff handling, levels or whatever. So anyways, that's the demonstration, and we'll get into it here. We've got our activation method here. This could be walking into a module or whatever. It could be a one-time thing, totally up to you. Unused, what we are doing, we have 3 different integers, alright, and we are randomizing each one. I actually don't need 3 of these, they can all be tied into one, but just for demonstration purposes, there's 3 of them. Setting them between 1 and 3. The integer is representation of the sequence, so sec1 or sequence 1 is the first what do you call it? The first input that is required. The first thing that is generated. So if it goes 1, 2, if it goes 2, 3, 1, sequence 1 would be 2, sequence 2 would be 3 in this case, and sequence 3 would be 1. 2, 3, 1, which means these would be set to 2, this would be set to 3, this would be set to 1. So if this gets randomized to 1, this to 2, and this to 1, then it will go 1, 2, 1, alright, and so on and so forth. I think that's pretty straightforward. When we're using this, mainly because I'm allowing this to be repeated here, we are resetting the sequencer just to make sure that nothing screws up. That way it always starts from the beginning, no matter what. If something catastrophic happens, it will reset to the beginning. It shouldn't happen where that needs to happen, but we're doing it anyways. So I've got 3 signals here. You can use a repeater, and I did over here. but this repeater has 3 objects, so I have 3 objects here. Any more than that, might as well use a repeater. So 3 signals, and these have slight delay. That has a 0.1 delay, only to ensure that these are randomized before referencing them. So slight delay on that, and then half second after at 0.6, and then at 1.1, which is half a second after that. We are signaling the sequencer. First sequence, first we are setting this integer, which is sequence variable, which is going to be used over there and over here. Essentially, it's a placeholder. It'll be a placeholder for input, and it's a placeholder here to eliminate the need for an equal amount of compares to, or 3 times as many compares as there are integers. So we only need 3 because we have 3 of these. If we had 4, then we would need 4 of these, and of course 4 of these, and so on and so forth. But yeah, first signal, we are setting this to sequence 1, and then we are coming over here testing, and we are checking sequence 1. We are looking to see if it is 1, 2, or 3. If it's 1, changing the color, playing a sound. I see there's a comment. I'm gonna look at it at the end. Just because I'm trying to get through here, and it may take like half an hour to go through, but so yeah, setting this to sequence 1, and then it is doing some UI stuff here, changing color, changing it back to black so it just flashes, and then also playing a sound. I have it, I think E flat major, yeah, E flat, F, and G. So whichever this is set to, it will display and play the respective sound here. Second sequence in the sequencer will then change the sequence variable to sequence 2, and then sequence 3, and so on and so forth. So here we have 12, just to show you how this would work in a larger setup. We have sequence 1, 2, 3, and then I left these their original name, but they kind of worked out: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we've got, it sets to 1, checks it, does the UI stuff. 2, checks it, UI. 3, and then here, integer 4, 5, 6, here's 7, 8, 9, here's 11, and here's 12. And it'll just go on and on and on and on. And at the end of this sequence, and of course, let me point out here, this repeater is set to the amount of thingies that we have. You can have 12 and actually reduce it down to like 6 fairly easily. Just need to move an equals back here and some other stuff over here. But yeah, let's see, what are we doing here? Alright, yep, it does that. Alright, and on the last one, it's coming over here and enabling these 3 down here, so we can shoot. They're actually enabled on map start at the moment, just because it's not necessary for me to do that because it's not actually being implemented. But you would want to disable these on map start or match start or whenever. But you could also these 6 chains here, you can just move those down to here and put these in the center or whatever, and then delete these, and you remove this top row, and you'd be shooting the triggers that give you the sequence. So that's how you would do that if you wanted to. But yeah, we're enabling these, so you can only shoot them after the sequence has been fully displayed. Otherwise, if you have like a sequence of 12, it would be a little too easy to complete it if you could go along with it. So we don't allow that. You could if you want to, but that would make it incredibly easy. So we do that, and that's pretty much all we're doing over here. I will mention here, on used, we are also resetting this sequencer. Generally just a good idea anytime you want to make sure that you're always starting at the beginning of a sequencer in case something catastrophic happens. Just reset it before you start using it. In some cases you do not want to reset it and you actually want to change the index manually and all this, that, and whatever, but this is not one of those cases. So anyways, we do that, we enable these. Alright, now that these are enabled, we need to accept input from them and parse that input and compare it to the original sequence. That original sequence is stored separately like this, 1, 2, 3. You can think of it as a string. I actually tried to use a string, and before I even got very far, I completely abandoned that because that would have been way too convoluted. So, excuse me. Yeah, so here's our little string per se, or what do you call it, matrix. Alright, so we're accepting inputs, blah blah blah. Alright, come over here. We have this sequence variable which we used over here. We are now using over here. It can't be used over here while it's being used here, so it's not a problem. You can use a separate one if you like. So on damaged, here is the leftmost. We'll call it 1. Here's 2, and here's 3. When they're damaged, we are setting this variable to whichever one it is. So if we shoot 1, we set it to 1. If we shoot 2, we set it to 2, and so on and so forth. We also play some feedback stuff, a sound, and a color change. But every time we fire at one of these, it is going to come over here and signal this sequencer. So this will go in sequence checking to verify the original sequence. And the way it's doing that is going through, and the first sequence here, it is testing what we just set this sequence variable to against sequence 1. And then the next time we shoot at one of these, we check to see if we shoot 1 and we're on sequence 1, we check to see if sequence 1 is equal to 1. The second time, whatever we shoot, we check to see if it is equal to sequence 2, and then the third, we check to see if it's equal to sequence 3. I have a not equal output on these, so if any of them are wrong, it will come up here, flash all of them red, turn them back to black, and then it's going to come over, reset this sequencer, and then if this was a one-time thing, then it would need to be enabled and all that. But we're also, since we have this unused reset, that's actually not necessary. So yeah, there you go. And maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think so. But fuck it. I'm gonna leave it there. Alright. But the main thing here is the equal. We can only get here if this was correct, if the sequence matched, or the input matched the respective sequence, and then we can only get here, same reasoning, and we can only get here if those two, whatever, blah blah blah. If this one is correct, that means the entire sequence was correct. So if this is equal, we play this explosion sound, and then you open your doors and spawn your baddies and that sort of thing. But we're also coming over and disabling. That's what that's doing. That's why that's not necessary. Okay, definitely not necessary because it disables these, so it won't take any more input. Alright, so there's that too. If you screw up, it disables the input, so you can't continue. And once you complete it successfully, it also disables the input, so it doesn't screw with this stuff. Although because of this, it's unnecessary, whatever. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a little messy. I can probably be cleaned up a little bit. I can put this GUI stuff off to the side. I could eliminate these and just drag these chains all the way over here. Yeah, no, I couldn't. Well, if I merge these two into one, then I could reuse these indicators. Yeah. So if you wanted to expand that, same setup. Change the repeater here to X amount of sequences, or whatever the amount is within the sequence, and then need individual integers for each sequence. Technically, you could use whatever you want. You could use a string and just call them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you'd call these A, B, C, or, you know, whatever you want to do there. But integers would be the best way to do it. Unique integers for each input in the sequence, and randomized, as you can see here. Like I said, you can use one and attach to all of them. They will all be random within the parameters of this. Since we only have 3 buttons, it does need to be 1 through 3. You could eliminate these two or whatever, tie them all together. Yeah, repeater set to X amount. There's 12. Here's the first 3. Here's the last 9. And then these need to be set to their respective integers. Because of the way we have this set up using this variable. Again, we only need 3. If we had 2048 of these, we would only need these 3 compares for the GUI stuff. Unless we had a 4th button, then of course we would need 4 and blah blah blah. And then over here, all we had to do was expand upon this by adding these, and of course setting these to the respective sequence holder or placeholder. Here's 4, 5, 6, all the way to 12. And then we had to move the equal from the 3rd to the 12th to make sure that you complete the entire sequence before it's a success. This would be the way to change levels. You know, use a boolean or an integer or something to count levels, and say if level 1 here, then success, and reset everything, and then so on and so forth. And if level 12, then this one would pass. Yeah, that's where you do all your success stuff. All this is the same. If you're curious, I have these delays set to 0.3. That way, if we come in and do this, it's set to 0.5, but this is set to 0.4. So any color will be finished by the time that would happen. Yeah, those are the delays I'm using. I know this is getting really boring now. Hopefully that was clear and concise enough. I started a new map for this specifically, I guess. So I may publish it with just this. I have some other stuff on the back burner. So I'll go in and do another demonstration just to do a demonstration. I'm going to pull up these comments real quick and see what they were. If I can freaking find it. There it is. Okay. Oh, it's oh, Neocorpse. Yeah. Blech. Dude, what's up? I've been waiting for you to stream. Well, I don't know. It looks like he left, but hi. Here's the demonstration again. Oh, that one was easy. I wish the other one would do that for all 12. I don't know. Alright. Still are on, I guess. Alright. Where's it at? Demo or didn't happen. Well, you must have missed the very beginning because I already did a demo. um, there we go, 233. And it worked. And if we screw up, 213, we screwed up. Alright, come over here to the 12. Ooh. Oh, because they're not. Okay, now they're. Now I won't be able to shoot them because I don't have them disabled on map start. I didn't even see what it started at, but yeah. If I was successful, I know it's set up the exact same way as over there, so it would work. If I could memorize all 12 of them, I'm not going to sit here with my phone out looking at it or something. We're just trying to get... Oh wow, that was really close. Okay, if I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, and then what? 2, nope. It was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2 or something. But anyways, there it is. Look at this comment. Anyone else in the future? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, that sort of thing. I accidentally paused the vid and muted it. Well, it happens. It'll be up on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. This was a request from Hen Doe. That's pretty cool. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I need to get to work on some other stuff, but get busy playing other games and stuff. But I don't even know how long this video has run now. So I will have some more stuff coming up soon-ish. Everything's just been kind of on hold. Just been lazy, that sort of thing. So I had some other requests that have come through, and I'll try to get around to whatever I can, whenever I can, and whenever I feel like it. Yeah. So interesting discovery. Conductors don't activate mini boss events at all. Everything else does. Well, I thought we already went over that. We shouldn't. Conductors don't have an activator. If you use a conductor to reference a cached object and then used on get from the cached object into a mini boss event, then it should work. But by themselves, they definitely won't. That's like trying to use a like an integer and then use onChanged and then try to start a mini boss event. I don't think it'll work. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, just because if someone's actually going to look for this tutorial and then they see it's like 45 minutes long, they're gonna just but I know why now. It's because conductors don't have an actual ending point. Well, I mean, I guess that would be why they don't have an activator. Well, I don't know. Ending point. Well, no, they don't have an end, but they have breaks. That's like a repeater. If you set a repeater to repeat infinitely, and the activator is a player, it will infinitely activate whatever you attach it to. I don't know if I'm totally missing your point or not. I'm tired. But yeah, everyone else and you, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff that I already said like twice. But thanks for watching, and then you and everybody else, just throw some comments on a random old video. I get notifications. I don't know if you can direct message me on YouTube or not, but I am ending it here. So thanks for stopping by, and let me know what I need to be working on, because I've just been lazy. So, oh, my comments don't update while I'm in the menu. That's weird. Alright, later, man. Bye, everybody else. Okay, here we go. Bye bye.